So hello and welcome everyone to yet another success story from Board Infinity. Today we have with us Abhishek and he is going to tell you about his journey, how he got interested in data science, how he prepared for data science, and finally how he cracked his dream job. So Abhishek, welcome and congratulations for the same.
Thank you so much, Ayush. Thank you
Yeah,
for having me.
yeah, all right. So Abhishek, why don't you tell the learners about your background? What was your education like and how did you got interested in data science in the first place?
Yeah, so my name is Abhishek Ghan, and I finished my graduation in mechanical engineering in the year 2021. When I was in the third year of my engineering, I attended a 2-day boot camp on data is the next big thing. That was the name of the boot camp or something.
Mhm.
I attended it and I found it really fascinating. We were told about a lot of things what really fascinated me was what people did with the data that was available on the internet,
Mhm.
what kind of insights they were able to pull out to have an edge over their competitors. In fact, I remember an example the instructor gave
Mhm.
us. Uh, the, he talked about Rohit Sharma and how he has achieved he has been so immensely successful in IPL.
Mhm.
It was because he has his own team of analysts, which he uses to have an edge over his competitors. To when he has to build strategies, he takes help of analysts,
Mhm.
which he has. Yeah, so that's what fascinated me the most, and several other things. Everything, everywhere there is data. So there is data every corner of the internet. So how people use it to their advantage is what was data science all about, as the instructor told us. And yeah, I was completely fascinated with it. And I realized that I wanted to do this after my engineering. And by the time I was done with the engineering, I knew that I wanted to pursue data science.
Got it. So अभिषेक, what was the mindset back then? क्योंकि अभी जैसे typical अगर हम scenario देखते हैं, so engineering हो गई, people are expecting you to get into jobs. You are from mechanical field as well, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो doubt भी रहता है, will I be able to make transition or not? So what was your mindset at that point in time?
Mindset ऐसा ही था कि I just have to make this transition real quick because the kind of jobs that were coming in for mechanical engineering weren't very attractive.
Right.
And I was completely, like I said, I was completely intrigued with the data science field. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to pursue that exactly, not any other IT sector. I didn't even bother exploring the software development thing or everything. I was just
Right.
focused on the data science thing.
Great, great. Acha, so you had the focus in your mind. That is great. So now coming to the next part, right? There are a plethora of edtechs. There are plethora of courses available in the market. So how did you discover Board Infinity, and what made you choose Board Infinity, basically?
One of my friend was learning at Board Infinity. He actually did the full stack course, and
Okay.
he gave me a positive feedback. And I also watched all the video testimonials
Mm-hmm.
uh, and everything. I looked it up on the internet, and looked at the reviews,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I realized. That's how I and also I wanted to do this course in an offline manner, in a
Right.
classroom, in a proper classroom,
Mm.
because I was really fed up with the online thing.
Right.
And yeah, so Board Infinity offers offline classes as well. So that's how I decided that I want to pursue data science at Board Infinity.
Mhm. Great. Abhishek, as you told, this is a great circle of life that, one of your friend recommended you, yeah, you watched some testimonial and then you got into data science. Now, probably someone will be watching this video and then they will be attracted to for this as well. Great.
Yeah, yeah.
So, talking about, now that you have enrolled, right? How was the experience like? आपका classroom experience कैसा था? या what all modules did you study?
क्लासरूम एक्सपीरियंस तो बहुत मस्त था, क्योंकि
Mm-hmm.
1.5 साल के बाद क्लासरूम में बैठे हम लोग,
Right.
तो सोशल स्किल्स तो बहुत ही कमजोर हो गए थे, वो तो फिर उस
Mm-hmm.
पे काम करना पड़ा पहले तो.
Mm-hmm.
और as coming back to the academic part, we all started with the Excel module, then followed by the SQL, followed by Tableau, then SQL, then Python, and lastly
Mm-hmm.
machine learning part.
Right.
So coming from a mechanical engineering background, I knew a little bit of Excel, and that's
Mhm.
it. I had no idea such a thing called Tableau even existed. I knew a little bit of Python. I knew the name. That's it.
Right.
I knew the full form of machine learning, and that's it. Everything else was completely new to me.
Right.
And I think my mentors at Code Infinity, Mr. Varun Kumar Anguralia and Mr. Sufyan Sheikh, made that transition really, really smooth.
Amazing. All right. So, would you like to, specify some things like which all modules you made, which kind of projects, and उनमें क्या क्या चीजें सीखी आपने?
Yeah. So in Excel, we learned all the features. From basic to advanced, we learned all the features that Excel offers. And as for the project part, I picked up the Zomato data set from Kaggle because I wanted to find out. I wanted to see what I can do with it. And given the fact that I'm a big foodie,
Right.
was also an inspiration. Was also the inspiration behind picking that particular data set.
Right.
Then we moved on to SQL. SQL was something very new to me. So we were just, as for the project, we were given certain set of assignments. Then we had to fetch the desired output using whatever queries we can.
Right.
Whichever way we can, whichever way we want to. We just wanted to display this desired output. So that was what the project was for SQL. Moving to the Python part, there were a few set of assignments. They had given us the desired output, and we had to write the code ourselves.
Right.
And final thing was the Capstone project, and I built a movie recommendation system as a part of the Capstone project.
Amazing. So Abhishek, which module was the most difficult one for you? मतलब जिसको सीखने में struggle लगा? Was it math, machine learning, Python, SQL? Which was it? And then how did you overcome it as well?
Python and machine learning.
Okay.
Like these two things were alien for me. So zero idea about what these things were. So how I overcame it was just taking up different, looking up through the internet and coming across few websites which help you in honing your skills, like Hacker Earth and several others.
Yeah.
So I took help of those websites to get a grip over these two stuff. Basically Python, because if you don't know Python, you cannot understand the machine learning part.
Right.
So yeah, I took help of Hacker Earth. I took help of my mentors. They gave me certain assignments, which I completed which I completed on my own, and that's how I gained confidence. And I think confidence is the key thing.
No, absolutely. This is also a recommended practice that we do. Let's say if you're doing X number of classes, you need 2x of your self practice. So अगर आपको 6 घंटे हफ्ते में क्लास हो रहा है, you need at least 12 hours of learning on your own. क्योंकि जब तक आप practically खुद apply नहीं करोगे, वो चीजें समझ नहीं आएंगी. आप कितना भी live lecture देख लो, तो this is an initiative we want every student to have. कि you have to do the self practice. There is no going back के like यार मेरा 4 घंटे weekend पे क्लास है, वो करके मैं data scientist बन जाऊंगा. It is never the thing.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. ठीक है. So you came your fear of Python, machine learning. You practiced a lot. Confidence, obviously, as you said, कि काफी जरूरी था. So you also mentioned कि यार soft skills या फिर communication या social skills were also down. So how did you work on that thing?
Basically, see, reading is something which is the best exercise there is, and also communicate with other people, whether it's your mentors, whether it's your friend. ऐसा कोशिश करिए कि आप लोगों से मिले, हर रोज उनसे बात करने की कोशिश करिए, क्योंकि now that I'm working as a business analyst, communication skill is one of the most important things, because you will be asked to deal with clients on a regular basis, if not on a daily basis. So if it's an Indian client, then it's okay. What if it's a client outside India? Then only and only your communication skill will depend how effectively you're able to go to get your message through.
Absolutely. So Abhishek, जब मतलब course complete हो गया, you studied all the respective modules, you made the projects and everything. Then how did the placement training go?
The placement training well actually. It went so we had to attend several live sessions,
Mm-hmm.
recorded session and live sessions,
Right.
which were targeted basically to hone our soft skills.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the interview, when we are getting interviewed, you're not just the interviewer doesn't just want to look at how much you know about the technical stuff at all. He or she also wants to look at how effectively you are able to communicate those technical
Right.
skills, those
Right.
technical stuff that you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I attended, I think there were 10-15 live sessions which I attended. And yeah, those things helped me immensely in when I was shortlisted for interview round.
Great, great. So like how many companies did you apply for? कितनों में shortlisting हुआ? And how was your interview experiences and then मतलब typical जो भी rounds होते हैं. So how did those go?
Yeah, I've lost count to how many companies I've applied for.
Right.
I've applied. I took help of every job portal, LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
Naukri, Code Infinity's own job portal. I
Right.
applied to every company that I found myself. If the job description, if I thought that I fitted the job description, even 90%, I
Right.
applied for the job. I applied for the position, and I got shortlisted in 4 or 5 companies,
Got it.
uh, of which one was Aislelabs, where I'm working currently.
Mm-hmm.
And the interview, as for the interview process at ILabs, you want to know?
Yes, yes, yes. At
Yeah.
Aislelabs and at other companies as well. Yeah.
So I got shortlisted for the interview round in only one company.
Okay, that was
Yeah,
Aislelabs. Okay.
ILabs. Yeah.
Okay.
So before the interview round, they had given me a data set,
Mm-hmm.
which was which was the company's own data set, and I
Mm-hmm.
was asked to pull out insights in whichever way I wanted.
Right.
But the only criteria was those insights shouldn't be very obvious.
Hmm.
As in, if you are, as in a non-analyst, shouldn't be able to
Discover
compute
those.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was the only criteria they had, and I worked on the data set. I pulled out the
Mm-hmm.
insights. I
Mm-hmm.
mailed them that Excel. Since I applied for the business analyst position, I had to work on the Excel. I had to work on the data set on Excel.
Mm-hmm.
So a few days after that, I got a call that I have been shortlisted for the interview round.
Right.
The interview round went for around 1.5 hours. It was HR and technical. So
Okay.
I was asked from basic questions from tell us about yourself and
Mm-hmm.
etc. to the all the technical stuff,
Right.
basically from Excel.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So was it majorly focused only on Excel or other tools were covered as well?
Yeah, they asked me about Python as well, but
Mm-hmm.
primarily their focus was on Excel, given that
Okay.
I will be needed to work on MS Office more
Mm-hmm.
often than not. I'll be
Right.
working on MS Office.
Right. And what kind of questions were asked in Excel? Like, were they case study based or were they implementation based? How were they?
Yeah, they were implementation based. They asked me to solve a few questions
Mm-hmm.
uh, on the data set that I had worked for, that
Mm-hmm.
I had worked on. They asked me how I did how I worked on those insights and everything. And they also asked me to solve a few questions live. They asked me to share my screen
Mm-hmm.
and then asked me a few questions, and they wanted me to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Understood.
for the Excel questions,
Mm-hmm.
they asked me from the basic stuff. I think the all the
Right.
some what kind of functions there are, the what is pivot table, why is it used.
Right. So,
Yeah,
yeah, in fact, this is what we have seen. Many students make this mistake के ML या फिर जो भी ऐसा buzzwords होते हैं, they memorize them, they learn their definition, and more often than not, they forget to work on their foundational skills. And
yeah,
होता फिर वही है कि interviewer जब आपसे foundational questions पूछता है, आप उन्हीं का answer नहीं कर पाते, then you're never able to get into that advanced question वाला phase as well.
yeah,
Amazing. So it's great, that you remembered all those foundation answers as well.
yeah, yeah.
So from what I infer is आपका पहले एक टेस्ट राउंड हुआ जिसमें
Hmm.
आपको डेटा सेट मिला, यू सॉल्व्ड इट,
हाँ,
यू सबमिटेड इट, एंड देन सेकंड राउंड आपका 1.5 आवर्स वाला लाइव इंटरव्यू।
इंटरव्यू, हाँ।
सो इसके अलावा भी और कोई राउंड थे और एनीथिंग एल्स?
नहीं, ये 2 ही राउंड थे।
हम्म।
उसके बाद अगेन विद इन 10 days I was told that I got the job.
Great, amazing. So now that you are working as a business analyst, so how is the transition from learning to be actually implementing the stuff? How is the work going in the company? Yeah.
Yeah, this time the transition was not as difficult
Mhm.
as compared to how it was from mechanical to data science,
Mhm.
because all the skills that I am required to work on as a business analyst, वो मुझे सिखाया गया बहुत definitely. तो इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ स्टार्टिंग में.
Okay. ग्रेट. बाकी तो इट इज अ नेवर एंडिंग परस्यूट, मतलब आप
Yeah,
बहुत डीप डाइव कर
absolutely.
सकते हो, जा सकते हो, सब बढ़िया है. सो एनी न्यू थिंग दैट यू लर्नड इन योर कंपनी, एनी न्यू थिंग यू डिस्कवर्ड इन देयर?
Any new thing? Well, first thing I the first thing I learned there was the corporate life is so much different from what I had imagined it to be.
राइट, राइट.
Yeah, the working culture at Aislelabs is really quite friendly, but it's still quite different from what I'd imagined.
Amazing. All right. So, Abhishek, any word of advice for your fellow learners about their journey, जो अभी placement phase में है या फिर अभी learning phase में है, how they can get best of the course and how they can get best of the placement?
Yeah. So I have two advice for them.
Mhm.
First one is you can have the best instructors, but it won't matter if you don't put in the effort yourself. If you don't
Right,
go home and put in the work yourself, if you don't get your hands dirty, that's how you learn things.
right,
Because
absolutely.
if you come from a non-IT background, you cannot expect to learn Python overnight or ML overnight. These things take time, so you have to be patient. And secondly, if you are applying for jobs, just be patient. You are going to get rejected a lot of times.
Hmm.
You are going to face rejection from everywhere, whether you apply on LinkedIn or Naukri or other job portals or Board Infinity's own job portal. It
Right.
doesn't matter. You are going to face rejections. Just make sure that you have a resume which is attractive enough.
Hmm.
And I think that is a very, very important thing. People don't pay attention to how their resume is. So I would recommend them to, if you have made the resume, just go to your friend or your colleague, your
Hmm.
mentor, whoever you call your mentor, just go to them, show
Right.
them your resume, get feedback from them, and make the necessary changes. Because you can have all the technical knowledge in the world, you can have the best communication skills, but if you don't have a resume which is attractive, the interview isn't going to shortlist you for the interview round. So it's of no
Right.
use.
Right. Amazing. So once again, Abhishek, congratulations and thank you for your time and thank you for sharing your journey with the fellow learners. I do hope this will motivate them enough to work more hard and get their dream jobs as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much, Ayush, and
Thank
best of
you.
luck, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.